Katie's Precious Angels Reborn Nursery.
Hi guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to do some painting. I haven't done a painting video in quite a while. So I am going to be working on some mottling on a few babies. I do 3 mottling colors: purple, red, and blue. And yeah, so I just need to get a few of these babies mottling on, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's get my sponges ready. I am going to do the blue mottling first. Let me make sure I don't have this too dark, because you don't want the mottling colors to be too dark. Let me add a little bit more of this. Oh, that is very full. Here, let's put some in the middle, because I got that a little bit too full. That's okay. Alright, I think that's better. Yeah. Because you want to be able to see it, but you don't want it to be major blue. You know what I'm saying. Alright, so let's get this going. Alright, starting off with head first. I always start right around the forehead and right around the temples, because usually a baby is modeled the most there on the face, in my opinion. Now, putting it on right now, it is darker than it will be once it dries. It will not show up as much as it does right now. Right now it's just wet, so it looks darker. So I do 3 different mottling colors. Take it off the nose right there, because I don't like to put the blue for nose but like on the nose, simply because it just, I don't know. I'll use the red on the nose for the mottling, but not so much the blue. Alright, and then go ahead and put the mottling all over the rest of the head. This little baby is a baldy, so you don't actually, like if you're gonna root, you don't actually have to do the whole head, but I do it anyway. Even if I'm rooting, like I still put the mottling and that kind of stuff on the head, just because, okay, now that will dry and it will not look as dark. And plus you gotta remember, I am under a very, very bright reborning light. So, alright, and then I look at it, make sure it's modeled everywhere I like. And then I let it flash off. Flash off means dry. And then I move on to the limbs. So put more on here. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've done a painting video. I haven't painted on, I mean, I've been reborning, obviously, but I haven't done a video of myself doing it in quite a while. I've just been so busy, and it takes a bit to set everything up, and then plus it has to be a step that's not real hard, because I'm talking throughout it. Some of the reborn steps you really got to concentrate, so it's hard to record while you're doing it. So, alright, that leg looks good. Put some more on here. I love the under the skin mottling. I think it just makes the baby look so much more realistic. Because babies have different colors and stuff underneath their skin. In my purse pick. Sorry guys, I was talking to my son. Oh, dropped it. But yeah, babies have lots of different tones under their skin, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're got bad skin. They still have beautiful skin, even with the mottling. Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. Some people like it, some people don't, and that's okay. Alright, now I gotta get the arms. Put that up there, and this is just the first layer. I will be doing a red and a purple, and then also I do a yellow layer, but that's basically when I'm almost done with the Reborn, because that's such a light color. You want to do that last, because I haven't put the baby skin tone on yet. I do all of this underneath the skin before the skin tone, basically, so it will look like it's under the skin and not just, I don't know how to explain it. It's so hard to explain, at least for me. I didn't even know if I was in the shot. I'm sorry guys, I'm not great at recording myself painting. I just kind of go with it and don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, there is that one. Now this one, and then I'll take a look at all of them, and then I will bake that layer. Sometimes I don't bake in between. It just depends on how the mommy wants it. If the mommy wants a heavy model, I bake in between, because that leaves the color more than if you do all 3 layers and then just bake them all together. Because if you do all 3 layers and just bake them all together, they kind of blend together just a little, not a ton. You can still see all the colors, but when you bake each layer, they stand out a little more each layer, but it still blends. It still looks good. I'm not the greatest at explaining things, guys. But I do the best I can, so it is what it is. Okay, so now that I am done, the head pretty much dried. I don't know how well you can see it, but see, it's dried, and now you can't see it as much. Let me turn off the bright. Whoa, wow, it's really dark in here now. But see, it's, you know, you want to be able to see it, but you don't want to be able to see it like majorly blue or anything. It's definitely on there. So now we are going to bake this baby after I check and make sure I didn't get nothing in the creases and all of that. Alright, so we're going to lay his head in there. Alright, arm. Look everything over. Looks good. Alright, let's get this arm. And then once I bake and it cools down, I will move on to the purple layer. It's the leg. It's not all the way dry yet, but that's okay. I'm so used to doing this, I can tell if there's anything I need to fix, you know. And the last one looks good. Alright, so I am going to bake this and let it cool, and then we will move on to the purple layer. So I will be right back after I bake this and it's cooled. Okay guys, and we are back to do the second modeling color. It is the next day, so yeah, so we are going to do the purple mottling now. So I get my purple sponge, and we're going to do purple on this baby now. Now I did bake the blue one. I'm This baby's mommy wants the mottling to stand out a little more, so I am baking in between the layers. With my customs and womb babies, I try very hard to listen to what the mommy wants. So here he is. He has his blue mottling. You may not be able to see it a ton on here, but I do see it. But you don't want to see it so much where it's like blue everywhere. You know what I mean? All right, so like I said, I start right here by the eyes, and then I go around the ears, because babies are usually mottled more on their foreheads. In my opinion, some people may think differently. Us reborn artists all do things differently. We find our own ways, and yeah, that's a beautiful thing about reborning. We really do find our own ways and how we like things. Now, like, it's going to be darker at first. It's going to look darker before this dries. So, you got to really not be scared when you're reborning a baby. Because when you're putting it on there, it does look darker than what the end is going to be. Okay. We go. Alright, now. This is a little baldy, so I am making sure I do the head beautiful. So it looks like a real little newborn baby head. And I do have different mottling. Sometimes I use these sponges. Sometimes I use homemade sponges that I made myself. Just depending on what the mommy actually wants. Okay, so now that needs to dry. And yes, it is looking a little dark, but I promise you once it dries, it will not be that dark looking. That's just because it's wet. So there is the purple one for the head. Now we're going to work on the arms. It's been so long since I did a painting video. I've just been so busy, like I said. And usually when I'm reborning, since it does take a long time to bake and then cool off, I usually work on another baby while I'm waiting. But with this, I'm not doing that because I just want to show you guys me mottling one baby. So, yeah, I'm not doing that this time. But, like, while I'm waiting for a baby to bake, I will work on another baby, or when I'm waiting for it to cool off. Yeah. So there is that arm. I would like to start doing more painting videos. I used to do them quite a bit, but back then, I mean, I've always had orders ever since I started selling Reborns. I have never went without an order, which that's such a blessing to me. But I've actually really, in the last year and a half, have had non-stop orders to where I'm out like 4 or 5 months. So if you order a baby from me, it, you know, because I have to go in order with customs, so it takes 5 months. As of right now, it only takes 1 month for me to create one realistic reborn. And sometimes it's a little bit shorter than that, but I always like to give myself a month just in case anything happens with every reborn. You know, things happen in life. So I always give myself a month to create one reborn. But all reborn artists has to take more than one order if you're doing it full time. You know what I mean? So therefore, that's why it's 5 months right now if you order a baby from me. But it's worth the wait, in my opinion, and I have never had a dissatisfied customer, which I am very proud to say that, because I know there's a lot of artists that have had to do refunds or had to work things out with a customer. So far, so good. I don't want to jinx myself because, you know, we all see things differently. So you know, we all have different eyes. We all have different things that we like. That's why I try very, very hard to communicate with the people that buy customs from me, because I try very, very hard to do what they want me to do. But, you know, like I said, we all see things differently. I may love one thing about a reborn, but there's people that actually, you know, hate that, the thing that I actually love. So, you know, I try very, very hard to listen to what my customers want. Okay, so now let's take a look at it, and you'll see it has dried. It's not all the way dried, but it has dried some, so it's not as in your face. And I'll turn off my bright reborning light. So, you know, it's not as, you can see it, but it's not as like in your face. And then once I put the skin tone on, it will look like it's more up underneath the skin. So yeah, so now I am going to look this baby over, make sure there's nothing in the creases that I don't want there, and then I'm going to bake this layer, and then we'll be back to do the red layer. Okay, we are back about 25 minutes later. I had to bake and then let the baby cool down, and we are on the red mottling layer. So let's get to it. And these are really cool. I bought these from MacPhersons, and you can actually take the sponge off and buy replacement sponges. You just glue one back on there once it gets too bad. I love them. They are pricey, not gonna lie, but they are reusable, and it gives you a little handle and you can control it better. And I really like the print that it gives. I like my homemade ones also, but you know. Alright, so here's the sweet baby with the blue and purple. I'm not sure, my reborning light is very, very bright, so, but you can see it. And you don't want it to be like major dark to where it looks like there's just a bunch of colors. You want it to be faint and look underneath the skin. Alright, so here we go with the red. Now the red tends to look really dark until it dries, guys. So just give it a little bit and it will dry some, and it won't be so, you know, you got it. When I first started doing mottling, it scared me really bad because I was like, that is so dark. I don't like it. But then when it dried, I realized, you know, once you are further along in reborning, you realize it doesn't actually dry that dark on the baby. So yeah. Alright. A few more around the eyes. Alrighty. Now the head mottling. And you can just move the sponge different ways so you have kind of different prints, because you don't want it to look exactly the same anywhere. And again, I will show you what it looks like once the paint is more dry. Plus you put skin tone over it, and that makes it show up less also. I don't care for that by the nose. Tone that down a little. There we go. Alright, so there is the red. Again, it's still wet, so yeah, it's put a little bit on the ears. Okay, so there we go with the red, and like I said, once it dries it will not be as bright looking, but so cute. I'm going to take and dab a little bit. If I think I got it too much in a spot, I just take and dab it like that. Okay, I am liking it. I'm going to take and put just a little dot right there. Do some touches. There we go. There we go. Alright, so there's the head and the face. And now we're going to work on the limbs. Let me turn my light back on. You know, it really just takes some time to get used to what, you know, what you like. I have, in the past, modeled too dark a few times, but, you know, and if the mommy wants it dark, then that's what I do, you know. We all have our preferences on what we like with Reborns, so I try, like I said, I try very hard to do what my customers want me to do. If I think something is just too far out of the way, it's just not going to look good at all, I will try to explain to the customer. But ultimately, if they still want me to do it, then I'll do it, you know. But I do try to explain that might not look the absolute best, but, you know, it's not my baby. If, you know, and like I said 500 times, we all like different things, so, you know. Alright, this leg. So I want to really try to get back to doing more reborning type videos, show you guys the steps for people that's just starting. I like to help people out when they're just starting. I think that, I truly believe that anybody could reborn. And I always say, don't think you can't do it until you actually try it. Because a lot of people say, well, I can't even draw. I can't even draw a picture. Well, I can't draw either, at all. When I draw people, I draw stick figures. So you don't have to be able to draw to be able to reborn at all, because I cannot draw at all. So unless you've tried it, you know, don't completely, you know, say you can't do it. It is kind of pricey to get started. I mean, nothing about Reborns is cheap. Even on the cheaper scale of them, they're not cheap. To me, anyway. A few $100s is not cheap, in my opinion. But, you know, for starting, you would just start off with the basics. You know, that's how everybody starts. And you start off with lower quality stuff. I use all high quality stuff now, but I've been doing this for almost 6 years. But when I started, I did use the lower quality reborning products. But once you get in a long time, and once you've been selling, you know, you go to the higher quality reborning supplies. So yeah. Alright, we're getting there. Okay, so now I am going to bake this baby. Well, I'm going to look it over, make sure there's nothing in the creases, tone anything down on the hands and the legs that I need to tone down with the red, and then I will be back to show you how this baby looks after I bake and cool off. Okay, got his 3 mottling layers on, and here he is. So cute. See, it's not near as dark as it looked. There's with the light off. You can see it, but it will be a little bit more faint after I get all the other layers on. This baby does not have any creasing or blushing or skin tones yet. So that's all coming next. So there's his mottling. Alright guys, that is all for this video. I just wanted to do a painting video since I hadn't done it in a while. Sorry about my mess. I don't use the throwaway cloths. I have about 10 of these white cloths, and then I just wash them. So they are stained with paint, but it is clean. And you guys know, artists are messy. It's just the way any artist, trust me, they're messy when it comes to artwork. But, alright guys, so that is all, and thanks for watching. Alright, bye guys. my wombs game. So this is what I use for my wombs, for my womb babies. They are a very, very large balloon, about the size of a basketball. And these are very, very expensive, but I did want to let you guys know on my last baby that I put in the womb, I didn't realize I was low, so I had to reorder some, and they came, so here they are. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys. Yay! We're back in it. I really need to try to stop, because last time and the time before that, I must have popped 3 or 4 of them while trying to get it into the womb, because the balloon blows up so big, and sometimes it pops when it's blown up that big. But I have wasted so many of these, and these are so pricey. So, yeah, I really, really need to try to pop less, because I bought, last time I ordered, I bought 25, and I feel like I went through them very, very quickly, way quicker than I thought that I should. So, but then again, maybe I have some around here and I just misplaced them. I don't know, but we're back in order. Got the wombs. I'm so glad it didn't take, it took like maybe a week, I think, from Australia. So, yeah, bag of my wombs. I'm very happy that they are here, so I don't have to worry about it now. All right.